its authority unquestioned, and its warnings rarely ignored. From crystalline halls orbiting a dying blue star, the Council observed the younger species with cold patience and ancient caution. When humanity first reached faster-than-light travel, the Council noticed immediately and classified them as a volatile emerging power. Humans expanded quickly, colonizing harsh systems others had abandoned, adapting with frightening speed and relentless creativity. This alone made the elder races uneasy. But unease turned into alarm when human fleets began testing weapons far beyond defensive needs. So the Council issued a formal warning, transmitted across every known relay, translated into 1,000 tongues, and carved into quantum record. It stated clearly that humanity was forbidden from militarizing beyond a defined border, forbidden from experimenting with stellar-scale weaponry. The warning was not a threat, it was a mercy, born from the memory of extinct civilizations that had once followed the same reckless path. Humanity listened politely, convened councils of its own, debated ethics, strategy, and survival. Then they ignored the warning completely. To humans, the galaxy was not a sacred order. It was a frontier. They believed survival favored preparation, and preparation required strength beyond imagination. When Council observers detected human shipyards hollowing out moons and weaving gravity-bound hulls the size of continents, they sent envoys. The envoys were received with smiles, diplomatic language, and carefully edited tours. What the envoys did not see were the deeper layers, the black projects buried inside folded space, the weapons designed not to win wars, but to end them. The Council debated again, divided between those who wanted immediate intervention and those who believed humanity would burn itself out. History favored patience, and patience won. No sanctions were enforced, no fleets mobilized, and no one prepared for what humanity was becoming. Far from Council space, humanity fought its first true galactic war against the Verix Dominion, a slaving empire that underestimated them. The war lasted 6 months, and ended with the complete collapse of the Verix home system. Its start forced into controlled detonation. That moment should have changed everything, but the Council dismissed it as an isolated anomaly. They had been warned by their own records, they had been warned by their own fear, and now, they would be warned by humanity itself. Asterisk the moment humanity crossed the forbidden border. Alarms echoed through every Council observatory. Human fleets did not sneak or probe. They arrived openly, broadcasting navigational codes and diplomatic identifiers. To the Council, this felt like an insult, a deliberate challenge to authority older than human civilization itself. Council patrols moved to intercept, their ships elegant, ancient, and powerful by conventional standards. They demanded immediate withdrawal, citing the original warning and the consequences of defiance. Human commanders acknowledged the message, thanked the patrols for their concern, and continued forward. The first shots were fired by the Council, a calculated decision meant to cripple engines and force negotiation. Human ships absorbed the fire, shields flaring once, then stabilizing. Then humanity responded. They did not target the patrol ships, they targeted the space around them. Localized gravity wells collapsed, folding space inward and tearing Council vessels apart without ever touching their hulls. The battle lasted less than 4 minutes. Not a single human ship was damaged. Every Council patrol vessel was erased, its data cores consumed by cascading space-time fractures. Panic spread faster than light through Council channels. Emergency sessions were called. Ancient protocols dusted off. Extinction-level responses discussed for the first time in hundreds of thousands of cycles. Still, some argued this was a misunderstanding, a reaction taken too far by local commanders. Humanity sent its own message then. It was calm, precise, and devastatingly clear. They stated that the warning had been reviewed, rejected, and rendered obsolete by new strategic realities. They stated that humanity would not be limited by fear imposed by others. And finally, they stated that any attempt to enforce the old order would be considered an act of war. The Council had never been spoken to like this. Not by empires, not by conquerors, not by gods who once walked the stars. Pride hardened into resolve. The Council authorized a punitive campaign, a demonstration of force meant to remind humanity of its place. Fleets were mobilized from core systems, weapons powered that had not fired since before humans discovered fire. What the Council did not understand was that humanity had planned for this exact response. They had modeled Council doctrine, fleet composition, and political hesitation. They knew where the Council would strike first, and they were waiting. Asterisk the Council, strike force, entered the Helios expanse, confident and united. Thousands of ships formed perfect geometric formations. Their combined firepower capable of sterilizing entire systems. They expected resistance. They did not expect annihilation. Humanity did not meet them head-on. Instead, space itself began to change. Stars dimmed as energy was siphoned away. Distances stretched and compressed unpredictably. Council navigation systems failed simultaneously. Then the human constructs activated. Not ships, not stations, but vast engineered phenomena disguised as natural cosmic structures. Gravitational snares locked fleets in place. Temporal shear fields caused command signals to arrive before they were sent. Order collapsed into chaos. Human weapons fired next, but they were not beams or missiles. They were decisions. Entire sections of space were rewritten, removing the possibility that council ships could continue to exist there. Vessels vanished without explosion, without debris, without warning. The council admirals attempted retreat, but there was nowhere to go. Humanity had sealed the expanse using folded dimensions, turning the battlefield into a closed system. Every tactic the council tried had already been countered in human simulations. Within hours, the greatest fleet ever assembled by the Galactic Council was gone. Not defeated, not scattered, but erased so completely that historians would later argue it had never existed. Humanity transmitted the aftermath across every known frequency. They did not gloat. They did not threaten. They simply presented the data. This is what enforcement looks like. This is the cost of ignoring our autonomy. This is the end of your monopoly on fear. Across the galaxy, cliff species watched in stunned silence. The Council had been the ultimate authority for so long that its fall felt unreal. Rebellions ignited overnight. Alliances shifted. Ancient treaties dissolved. Humanity did not pursue fleeing council worlds immediately. They waited. They allowed the shock to spread. They understood that fear was more powerful when paired with restraint. The message was clear. The council had ignored the warning signs. Now humanity had made them pay. Asterisks with the council fleets destroyed. The political structure that held the galaxy together began to fracture. Member species withdrew representatives, fortified borders, and erased records of loyalty. The myth of council invincibility was dead, and without it, compliance vanished. Human envoys appeared where council once stood. They did not demand submission. They offered options: mutual defense, technological exchange, non-interference agreements based on equality rather than hierarchy. Many species accepted immediately. Others hesitated, fearful that humanity was simply replacing one tyrant with another. To those worlds, humanity did something unprecedented. They withdrew. They left systems untouched, borders respected, and decisions unforced. This restraint confused and unsettled the galaxy more than conquest ever could. Meanwhile, remnants of the Council attempted one final act of defiance, a secret weapon hidden within their core star, designed to trigger a galaxy-wide energy cascade. If activated, it would cripple human infrastructure and remind the galaxy why the Council had once been feared. Humanity discovered the plan within hours, not through spies, but through predictive modeling that assumed the Council would choose pride over survival. A single human vessel was dispatched. It did not attack the core star. It stabilized it, disarmed the cascade, and converted the weapon into a permanent energy source for surrounding systems. That moment marked the true end of the Council. Not with destruction, but with irrelevance. Former Council leaders were offered exile, integration, or trial under neutral law. Most chose exile. Unable to exist in a galaxy where their authority meant nothing, humanity never declared itself ruler of the galaxy. They did not need to. Power was evident in every quiet system, every stable trade route, every war that never happened because humanity had already planned its end. Generations later, historians would debate whether humanity saved the galaxy or doomed it. What they agreed on was that everything changed the moment the Council was ignored. Humanity issued a new warning, not as rulers, but as guardians of consequence. It was simple, translated into every language, and etched into the memory of civilizations yet unborn. Do not mistake patience for weakness. Do not confuse restraint with fear, and never assume that survival does not breed resolve. The galaxy learned to live with humanity, not above them, not beneath them, but beside them. And in the deep silence between stars, where ancient powers once ruled unchallenged, one truth remained. They ignored the Galactic Council's warning. Now humanity made them pay.